Shalom to my cons right here in the Davis Flame Chamber. This is for you. Quick one, two. How does credit work, man? I'm just going to show you what's been working for me a long time, man. I was like, man, I don't need credit, man. And, man, shit, man. I'm a con, man. I don't need credit, man. Forget their system, man. You know what I mean? And then the more I read, about the Exodus, man, and how coming out the Exodus before, the Egyptians were breaking off these Hebrews, man, with gold, silver, all these things. But they had to be in position for it, right? They had to make that move. They had to gom, right? The first 7 letters of the Hebrew. Strong power Aleph goes into the house, the tent, right? The ba. Then you start the gom, gimel, gom. That gom, man, is the moves and the steps we make it, right? And then you walk through a door to get to the breath, right? The dal, dalet, to the ha, to the wa, to the za, 7 letters. So how are we gonna gum, right? It's up to you how you gum. It's up to you how you moving, how you walking, how you gathering, what you gathering. When we talk about credit, I'm just saying, can we gather our resources as a tribe to help each other? The more we're in position to help each other, my nigga, the more we winning, right? So the more, just like having a family member, man, with excellent credit, like, hey, man, hey, Uncle Rob, man, you mind co-signing on this and this? You ain't got to do that if you right. And if you right, you can help somebody else get right. And I wasn't right for a long time, but having 6 children and all that, I'm like, I got to be right in case they need it. Because I can't be super con act like it don't matter. It matters until it don't matter, right? When it don't matter, we already won. Right now, we in the system. We leaving Egypt. You want to get broke off with that gold and silver, have your credit right so that you can borrow from these banks and these credit unions and all that because they gonna give it to you, man. But you gotta be right, right? We gotta be moving. We have to be on that gum, on that gathering. So let's gather ourselves so that we can help each other. The more Nagas that are in position to help each other, to, say, yo, I can get 50K over here, I can get 20K over here. We put that together, we're making Naga moves at all time, buying land together, building our land together, infrastructure, just being good with your family, putting your house on your land, that type of thing. All the rich do is borrow. All the rich do is borrow. They never dig in their own pockets. They say, hey, let me get $5 and I'm gonna come back and give you 7. But they took that 5 and they made 15. You know what I'm saying? Like, and they never use their own money. So we got to be in position so we don't got to use our own money. 3 major things I want to, talk about when it comes to credit. All right, 3 major things. One, it's just on time, right? On time. You see that? Make sure y'all see it. On time. All right. My bad. On time. All right. So first thing, on time. If things were not being paid on time, they're gonna hit you every month. So just try to really budget and pay those major things on time, whether it's credit cards, car payments, yada yada yada, so that they ain't working against you. Because the more, they keep hitting you with delinquents, it's gonna keep pushing down your credit. And then you might have some negative, derogatory, such and such. I'll just say derogatory, right? I'll put derogatory, D-E-R. Derogatory. How you spell it? Derogatory. I don't know. Something like that. Derogatory. So you got on time and you got your derogatory stuff. That's just your old shit. Your old stuff, right? So all you gotta do is just hit them up, get the number, say, hey, all right, I owe you 800. I got 200 now. A lot of times they'll settle for that cash because they know that it might be the only time to get it. They rather close off with that cash than to keep having them accounts open a lot of times. Worst come to worst, they're gonna come back and say, um, hit me with half. Hit me with half. You know what I'm saying? A lot of my stuff might have been like $700 from 2014 or something like that. It's just stuff I just didn't care, you know what I mean? So I called them all like, all right, what I owe y'all? All right, 200, 300. All right, man, you want half? All right, I'll come back to you in a couple weeks, you know what I'm saying? Or, hey, all I got is the 2. And then they might say, all right, man, give me 3, you know what I'm saying? They trying to hustle just like us. So these to me are the main things that got my stuff up. Again, I didn't care about my stuff for a minute. My stuff was so low. It was like 400, like 4 or 500. Now I'm almost hitting the 7s, man. I'm almost at 7. And I got there in like 2 months, like less than 2 months, like 2.5 months, just making sure things were hitting on time. You know what I'm saying? Like over the last 3 or 4 months, I've been making sure everything was on time, hitting off the derogatories. Let's say I had like 5 or 6 derogatories on my whole thing. I didn't have no bankruptcies and nothing like that, but it was like just small little credit card things from back in the day that I did and kind of forgot about. So start knocking them off one by one. Those are like anchors, like holding down your whole situation. So, you know what I mean? So the more you get your derogatories off, all right, the more you get the derogatories off, the more them anchors kind of, release and your stuff starts shooting up. 10 points, 20 points, yada, yada. So on time payments, right? Derogatory seems simple. Here's the thing though, man. Here's the last little gem, man. The A-E, everything zero, A-Z-E-O. A-Z-E-O. So yeah, okay. A-Z-E-O. That stands for all zero except one. That's the rich secret, man, that no one taught us, that moms and pops never taught us, but I'm teaching my children early because you can always build your children's credit up later, you know what I'm saying, by adding them to yours, like your credit age, or you could have one account that you add them on to give them some credit age, and that's cool. Like you building up for the future. So that they never have to go to no one, they can just say, hey, man, I can get that personal loan, that construction loan, auto, whatever they're doing at a low interest rate. Really, like, you want to have good credit so you can keep the interest low. You know what I mean? You ain't getting, you know what I'm saying, sucker Tony so much. All zero but one means, like, let's say you had two credit cards, right? And, one was for like, see, one's for $700, one's for $500. Okay? And then you had the closing date. Okay, all right. I'm getting it, y'all. Got a whiteboard. All right. And my closing date is the 2nd of every month, right? So the 2nd. And that's when they're going to take a snapshot. Snapshot. All right. So all I want to do is make sure for these $700 before the 2nd, not the due date, right? The due date is later. It's like 25 days later. Trust me, my nuggies. It's not too late. I did this in like 2 or 3 months, man. I literally jumped up like a couple hundred points. You know what I'm saying? And maybe you got some other things, but just take your time. Like, give it 6 months. Don't look back in 6 months, be like, damn, I could have been here, there, and been in a better position instead of using my own money just to borrow that 5, 10, 15, 20, 100,000, 200,000, whatever case is, at a low interest rate to build my house and buy my land. We got to get out these cities, man. Left LA, came out here, you know what I'm saying, to Utah, man. Get about some of these big cities, man, because we want to be in a position to build, man, build legacy, right? So all zero but one means I'm going to keep these at zero utility, right? Zero utility. Excuse my writing, man. Excuse my writing, man. I never said I got the A in penmanship, man. I'm in the back office right now, man. I'm on the grindstone, giving y'all some grindstone, man. So for these 700, let's say this is the one I want to keep at zero, right? So before the 2nd, before my closing date, I'm gonna make sure whatever I spend on this card is at zero. And whatever I spend here, I want to get to all zero except one. I want to get to 1% utility. 1%, my nugget. That means that you could do them flip-flop, right? This could be 1%, this could be zero, however it is. You might have 4 or 5 cards and you keep them all zero except one, AZEO. That's the method working for me. So this one I'm gonna get at zero before the 2nd, before they take the snapshot. They're gonna literally take a snapshot, send it to the credit bureau on that day. Look for your closing day. It's like just look at the fine print, not your due date, man. This is how I was always confused. Not the due date, right? The closing date is typically 20 some days early. So it's like a cycle, you know what I'm saying? With your cars, you keep it at zero, or like you're spending it. But even when you're spending it, don't spend just because you got a $700 car. Don't mean you got $700 to spend. You want to still keep it around 20-30% utility even there. So on that $700 car, I still want to keep that around 200 or 300 max that I'm really using on that car. So it's not out of control, one. And two, when they are looking at the utility of the car, that they don't feel like you really, really need it. The more they don't feel like you need it, the more they're gonna give you more. The more they feel like you maxing it, they're like, he ain't ready or she ain't ready for more, right? More credit. Now they offer me more and more. I'm not taking no more because I don't want to open up no new accounts, get no new inquiries and hard hits. And that's another trap you fall into. Your credit gets better. You're like, ooh, I qualify for this. Just chill. Chill for more months, even a year. Like, just let your stuff, stack up, and don't let no new accounts hit your joint. Don't open up no new inquiries. Don't add no new debt right now. Just right now we in monk mode. Say it with me, Con. Monk mode. So I got two cards. Before my snapshot, before the closing date, this will be back to zero before the second, which typically means that I'm gonna stop spending on this card days before I get back to the second. So that last like week of the month or strong, they say week, we say strong. The last strong of the month is a sabbatical. Say it with me, man. Sabbatical. That means I'm spending on the card for 3 strongs, right? 3 weeks, 3 strong. But for that last strong, we chilling. My wife know, everybody know we ain't using that car for the next, 6, 7 days to make sure it registers back to zero in the system. Because if you spin it all the way up to here, it might not uh, reset in time. You know what I'm saying? It might still process. This 500, I'm keeping at 1%, right? 1%. Huh? So that's $5. I'm gonna keep that at $5 because if everything is zero, you actually get hit on the negative. Like, I don't know how it works, but if all your stuff is at zero before the closing day, they actually penalize you for having like zero utility. It's crazy. So keep it at 1%. That's the genius, rich thing to do. That's the drop. 1%, man. 1%. Say it with me, Con. 1%. So if you got a 5,000 card, you want to get it back down to what? $50. And let it read $50 for the snapshot. After that, just pay off that 50, or, pay off the $5 before the due date. So if my due date is not to the 27th, and I already took the snapshot, right, at 1%, after that closing date, after August 2nd, or, September 2nd, then I just pay off the rest of that so that I have zero interest and it's back to zero for the due date. And that resets my whole timetable for the next month. So if it's August coming up, or now, I just, the snapshot just happened and I still have $5 left, just pay it off. Now you clear for the last cycle. Now everything I'm spending now is to get back down before September 2nd, back to the AZEO, back to all zero but one, all my cards zero but one at 1% utility. Then you're free to spend it again. But for that last week or that last strong, you know what I'm saying, stop spending on that card. Just have a Sabbath, a Sabbath strong, right? For the rest of that, few days, and pay it down and let it reset. So all zero but one, 1% utility, closing date. Bye-bye. Let it take the snapshot for the due date, and that's what it is, man. But now I can't make this stuff up. So all zero but one. If you have 5 cards, keep them all zero but one. Keep at 1% utility before the closing date. Pay that off, let it reset, and do it again. Rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat. So 3 weeks, 3 strongs, you're using a card. Not overly using it, but using it enough to keep it around 20-30% utility. Just use 20-30% of that, pay it back down to zero. And that one card that you're choosing, you keep at 1%. And you don't have to keep the same card every month at 1%. You can switch them around, but make sure by that snapshot, by the snapshot, where by the snapshot, my niggas. By that time, you know what I'm saying, you keep it at 1%, you know what I mean, or 0%, whichever ones you're doing. But all of them 0 but 1. You do that and keep your payments on time and start knocking down them derogatories. You don't got to do them all at once. Maybe a couple, maybe one every month. And those anchors will start letting up and your credit's going to start rising because it's gonna match your on-time payments, right? That's going to boost it up. And then your great utilization is going to also boost it up because they'll be like, man, they know what they doing. She know what she doing. He know what he doing. I want to give him more credit, man. And that's the drop on credit that I'm learning that's working for me. And this is just some research, man, I've been doing from different people, man, just putting it together to get a master plan, to get a blueprint, a floor plan, which is the Ba'at in the Hebrew. The Aleph, the strong power, gets into the floor plan. Now we moving with this. Now my credit is moving. And now I'm on the GOM so I can walk through the door, man, to buy more land, to build my house, right? To build for Nagaville, to build for the tribe, to get the breath, wow, to get the security. And, it's all about that Zion. It's all about hitting the mark, the food, the nourishment. So I hope this gives you some food, some nourishment, man. This is some wealth drop 101 from Con Drop, Halal HaWah.